bring to order the Austintown Township meeting for February 8th, 2021. Please stand and pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Crano?
Here.
Mr. Kent?
Here.
Mr. Davis?
Here. All right. One introduction. We got Jim Henshaw, who's not here today, who's our director of our senior center. Jessica Ricker's in her place. Todd Schaefer is our park superintendent. Chief Andy Frost, our fire chief. Chief Bob Gavalier is our police chief. Darren Cavelli is our zoning inspector. Mike Dockery is our township administrator, road superintendent. Laura Wolf is our fiscal officer. Trustee Jim Davis and trustee Ken Carano, and I am trustee Steve Kent. Motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of January 25th, 2021.
So moved. Second?
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Crano?
Yes.
All right. We have a special occasion tonight. We have Officer Sam Lucrella, if he can come up. She's moving from part-time to full-time fireman.
I state your name.
I, Samuel Woodrow,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of full-time firefighter
and will faithfully discharge the duties of full-time firefighter
of the Austintown Township Fire Department.
of the Austintown Township Fire Department.
I further resolve
I further resolve
that I will serve the residents of Austintown
that I will serve the residents of Austintown
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
and will continue to do so
and will continue to do so
during my continuance
during my continuance
as a firefighter with the Austintown Fire Department.
as a firefighter with the Austintown Fire Department.
Sam, who'd you bring with you tonight?
I have my wife Erica, my daughter Bella, my son Enzo, my son Evan, my son Ethan, my mom, and my dad.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I just want to say, we actually stole Sam from the Austintown Fire Department. So we feel very honored that we're getting somebody with his experience and his knowledge. Sam became a paramedic just a couple of years ago, and he's done a great job for us. He did a great job for Youngstown. And when I talked to Chief Finley in Youngstown, he could not say enough good things about Sam. And Sam's been part-time with us for a lot of years. And again, it was a great fit for us. We're just very proud to have him on board. We'll grab right after, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
John Reagan, he's going to be promoted from to lieutenant.
You'll be next.
I state your name.
I, John Reagan,
Do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of lieutenant
and will faithfully discharge the duties of lieutenant
of the Austintown Fire Department.
of the Austintown Fire Department.
I further resolve
I further resolve
that I will serve the residents of Austintown
that I will serve the residents of Austintown
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
and will continue to do so
and will continue to do so
during my continuance with the Austintown Fire Department.
during my continuance with the Austintown Fire Department.
All right, we're gonna ask Mr. Reagan to come up. So we do a ceremony, it's called badging. And when somebody is promoted, somebody very special in their life that gets their badge on for the first time. So Mr. Reagan is a 31 years with the Youngstown Police Department.
Awesome.
So I'm sure it's quite an honor for John to have him here tonight. So if you would, please badge. So I just want to say about John. So John's been with us since the year 2014. Started off in the ambulance, worked his way up, and he's just done a great job for us. We have several great candidates, as we always do. But John, we got our captains together and our chiefs together, and John was a unanimous decision. And it's a very good one. Again, I love the way our department's heading with our leadership. And John's just going to fit right in with that. So we're very proud to have him on. John, congratulations. Thanks, Chief.
Hey, John, would you introduce your family?
Yes, it's my wife Kayla, my daughter Delana, my son John Jr., and my little daughter Mara.
Awesome.
And my daughter that came to support me.
The fellow's back here from his shift. Obviously, we can't have everybody here, unfortunately, because of COVID, but his shift wanted to be here, so obviously supporting him, and they're all going to work well together. They already have, so. Very good. Thank you, John. Thank you.
Quick break and so you
If
take
you guys
pictures.
want to take pictures, we're gonna
We'll move and you guys take some photos.
take some photos and stuff.
Well, I want to know, Mr. Reagan, how did you let him go the wrong direction?
I actually did the right thing.
My uncle was a Youngstown policeman, my dad was a Youngstown policeman for 33 years, I got to 31 years, and I go, oh, he's got to be better than fire. He says, no, I always wanted to be a fireman.
There you go. All right. All right. Mike, administrator report?
Nothing to add to the administrator report or department business, but under new business, refer you to under new business C. Every once in a while, every few years, PERS asks us to update our resolution with them pursuant to IRS, to comply with IRS code. So that's all that is. As a matter of fact, they sent the resolution to us, we filled it in, sent it back to them, and they approved it. So it's a pretty simple thing you're being asked to do there. It looks complicated, but it's a simple thing. My fault, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Chief Frost, besides your new addition,
I actually have nothing else.
nothing else? Everything else good?
Yep.
When we get back with the other company, get back to you with the truck.
Yes.
How's that look?
It's about 15 over.
When do you have to make the final decision?
Price hikes go up February 15th. That's going to be a little bit of an extension because we are discussing it already. So I think we can get a 2 to 3 week extension.
And were you correct on the timeline
Yes.
with the other?
I think we should discuss this later, but I think you're pretty sure which one you want.
Yeah.
Why do we have to wait?
I just don't have final pricing, that's all.
Oh, okay.
Only because they're waiting on the engineers from the factory to give the finals. So that's the only thing I'm waiting on. I have general, which is very, very close. I just don't have exact.
Good.
Right. Chief, Cavalier? All right.
Nothing to report, the only thing I want to add on the report, we awarded $14,000 for a grant, or a JAG grant. This is for desktop computers and 7 monitors and 18 Bluetooth headsets for the dispatch center.
Oh, awesome.
Good.
Then you said Jag?
Jag, yeah.
That's good stuff. All right.
That's it.
Mr. Gavelli? Darren? What do you got for us tonight?
I would ask the board to approve a nuisance resolution under Ohio Vice Code 505.87 for 1741-1747 South Raccoon Road. Building fascia falling, shingles located on the south and west side of the roof mansard failing and falling off, windows in need of securing at the south side of the building, graffiti in need of removal from the south and east exterior walls, and the stockade fence along the southerly property line in need of repair or raising or replacement. Board members, as you're aware, that's the former Wedgewood Bowling Alley. In the middle of January, or actually early January, Trustee Kent called me and asked me to look at the fascia, and there was some of it coming off. As it began to deteriorate more, I did send a letter to the property owner of record. Of course, that was ignored, and then all of a sudden, it all came off that west side. And we had to wait for the road department to complete their snow and ice removal. I think that was Monday and Tuesday. So I'm not sure if they went out there Wednesday or Thursday, but they did remove everything that could fall. It was an emergency situation. We just couldn't wait, for this meeting to happen. So the fascia has been removed. In checking our records from last year, we declared this property a nuisance 4 times. And that was the 4 times we went in there, removed junk and debris, cut the grass. The property, in my opinion, has been abandoned by the property owner. The year before that, we had 2 complaints, or we declared a nuisance twice, and that was more related to the club that I think was still operating. So while the bowling alley was operating, at least we didn't have to remove debris and cut grass, but that building,
Is there anything there at all?
there's nothing, there's no business entities in there. We haven't been inside, however, there was a police officer who may have been in there for some reason, who told Eric maybe a month ago that the basement has 4 feet of water, and Eric says that there's a basement under the entire building. So it's just been neglected. I obviously contacted the prosecutor's office. It's about $38,000 in arrears. The tax duplicates will soon be going out, so it'll be a wait and see for the deadline for this upcoming real estate tax mailing. If nothing happens, the prosecutor may step up and put it in the lien foreclosure. I know there is a lien held by a company, I believe in Florida. So anyways, for the residents out there, we have to go through this process. But the building, to me, it's been abandoned. So it's going to fall on us to do basic maintenance. And my guess is you'll be seeing this about once a month when the grass starts to grow. So I would ask the board to approve this resolution.
So moved and seconded.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Credo?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
And I purposely kept that resolution by itself, but also under Ohio Vice Code 505.87, I'd ask the board to consider declaring the following properties a public nuisance. 240 Carnegie Avenue, a large amount of miscellaneous items, junk, debris, trash stored in exposed manner throughout the property. They had received a letter from me a couple of weeks ago about that. And then 1705-1739 South Raccoon Road. A large amount of miscellaneous items, junk and debris, and trash stored in exposed manner along the south wall of the building and in and around the dumpsters at the southeast section of the property. A large amount of miscellaneous items, junk and debris, and trash, including wooden pallets and a discarded white couch stored in exposed manner within the parking lot located at the northeast section of the property. and graffiti in need of removal from the fencing around the dumpsters at the southeast section of the property. Obviously, this is the other side of the plaza that seems to be fully leased, that has some really top quality tenants in there. But the property owners, I believe in Parma, Ohio, it seems like Eric and I are the property managers. Whenever there's something wrong there, we have to send them correspondences. And checking our records from last year, we sent them 8 correspondences, of which some of them were nuisance resolutions, not all of them. They actually had a hole in the roof between the grocery store and the Pizza Hut. And I had to email them to send them a picture, they had no clue. They eventually fixed it, but I swear sometimes Eric and I are the property managers there. So I would
Out
ask
of the 8 things that you sent them, did they do it?
yeah, they'll normally respond. We did, I know, Mr. Carano, at least once, maybe twice, we cleaned around the dumpsters.
Oh, yes.
But they need to police that every day, whether they have a tenant to it or an on-site property manager.
They don't have an on-site, is that what you're telling me?
I think Eric and I are on-site. Whenever there's a problem, we send it to them. And like I said, the tenants are, I think, quality tenants. You know, but the reality is, it down by the ramp, the Wedgewood ramps, those dumpsters are just, people just throw couches, there's mattresses there. Then on the north end of the building, you know, it's the same thing. But
That south end is like a cesspool.
yes, yeah.
If they had somebody there, and that would be there 3 days a week, there'd be a whole lot less of that stuff.
Yeah. And what we're seeing now is, on the dumpsters on this property, they have green slats along the chain link fence. And now you have, I call it graffiti, some people will call it designs. It's not as vulgar as what's on the back of the Wedgewood lanes, but when you start seeing that, if you don't respond, you're gonna get more and more of it. And we've always, you know, responded to that. We had a problem with that with the former bid lots. And, you know, I don't know how many times we removed graffiti, and then we eventually removed the building. So, but you gotta stay on top of that. So I would ask the board to approve that nuisance resolution.
So moved.
And seconded,
Mr. Carano?
yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Okay, then I would ask the board to approve a motion to find the following motor vehicles meet all the following criteria: 3 model years or older, apparently inoperable and extensively damaged, including but not limited to any of the following: missing wheels, tires, engine, or transmission, and to declare the following vehicles public nuisance under Ohio Vice Code 505.871 and order the removal of junk vehicles within 14 days after notice is served to the property owner. 2536 Amberley Street, an inoperable white Suzuki with an expired license plate, GPG 6440, park in exposed manner at the property. 4243 Woodmere Drive, an inoperable Jeep with flat tires and expired license plate, HZE 4425, park in exposed manner at the property. Once again, back over to Raccoon, 1705-1739 South Raccoon Road. Erect an inoperable Honda, license plate JFF 6457, parked in exposed manner at the south side of the commercial building, and a red inoperable Honda with flat tires, license plate HXK 3888, parked in exposed manner at the south side of the commercial building. And I will tell the board that those 2 plates are current, but the one vehicle's wrecked and it's clear the red one is inoperable, just looking at it, and it's filled with junk. And it's up against the wall of where the Redwood ramps are. So I just wanted to declare it a nuisance. I didn't send in the letter ahead of time. Amberley, I did, the property at 4243 Woodmere, I did not send the letter because that property owner called me and asked if we could tow that. It may be like an ex-boyfriend's, of the daughter's vehicle.
If you don't mind, Mr. Chairman, that's something that I always wanted to ask you. Do we go after the person who has the license plate, or do we go after the owner of the property?
3, we send letters to the owner of the property. I asked the PD to run the plate, and we send notice to the owner of the vehicle and the lien holder. And we're doing this under Ohio Vice Code.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Carano?
Yes.
I just want to let the board know, I think last week or last meeting, one of you asked me about Chick-fil-A, Myers, and then I told you that there was going to be a building east of Chick-fil-A. I told you I had not seen plans. They had not, they wouldn't disclose anything to us. There was a resident watching this meeting, and he sent me a site plan of this proposed building because they are marketing it. And it looks like they've got what would be the westerly tenant spot, probably leased. So although we don't have any information, they are marketing it, and a township resident who saw the meeting forwarded it to me. For that resident, I would say thank you.
Good deal.
And that's all I have for the board.
Thanks, sir. Want to send in Todd? Do you get complaints over there, Chief? Over in that circle there, over in the Woodwood Plaza, in the corner? Where he's talking about?
Is there anything there anymore?
Yeah, there's that skate,
Is that
there's a
still there?
skateboard, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Entertainment,
They wanted,
Skate park.
skate park, yeah.
they want to expand, so.
They want to expand?
Yeah,
Oh.
they want to pay.
Mr. Schaefer, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
What do you got?
I have nothing to add to the report. Just want to let the board know that the concerts are all scheduled for June through September. Finish those up today. We are booked for our summer concert series.
If I may, I don't want to get into particulars, but because of the situation that we created here in Austintown with obviously you, Todd, and us, and our dealing with the state and so on, and with the health department, we have a great system that we follow over there. It just fascinates me at times that we get calls from people who want to use the fact that we have that open area that we cover very successfully and use it for other things.
I've had several phone calls since the one that I texted the board about.
Yeah.
I've had several since people want to use that band show in that area.
Fascinates me. Yeah.
We got a motion to pursue to ORC 50510 to find that the below listed item of the property is, are not needed for public use, are obsolete or unfit to use, for which it is required, and the fair market value of each is less than $2,500. 2015 Exmark Laser Z72 tractor.
I have to say this, I think it's hilarious that we have to do this. What we're saying is we have property that's not worth anything, it's worth less than $2,500, but we're ready to, we put it out to sell.
If anybody wants it.
Yeah, I'm so moved.
Second,
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
yes.
Mr. Frano?
Yes.
And that's all I have.
Awesome. Is Jessica's back there, right?
Yes.
Can you bring her up?
Yes.
Where does that thing work? Maybe big enough I can do 3 sweeps of my house and have it all done.
Yeah.
Something you have to put it someplace.
Great. It's a big tractor.
And Darryl said he wanted to do some concerts in their liquor license or something,
Yeah.
they talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
How are you?
Oh, not bad.
I told her to prepare a 6-minute speech for us.
Yeah. So what's going on? How's the vaccines going? How are we doing there?
Busy. They're seeing about 500 people a day through there, but they've got it really organized, so it runs really smoothly. And I know Jim gave the number, but they're scheduling for 65 and older right now. And the number is 330-270-2855. And you've got to select option 9 if you want to register by phone. Or you can go to mahoneyhealth.org and register online there.
And let me tell you something, I have to say this because I went through this with about 130 people. And I literally registered probably around 45 of them. The easiest way is the computer.
It is.
And it is by far, because there's only 4 people answering the telephone who have to write down, have to listen to you, ask you questions, and write down things before they can go to another person. So the easiest way is get on that, when you go on mahoneyhealth.org, and you see the thing, it says, press the button here to register, a list comes out, you put your name in, bingo. Now understand, everyone thinks that immediately after they do that, they get called. You don't. You don't, but you will be.
Yeah, because I mean, it all matters how many shots they get any given day. And then they've got, when you call in or you do online, they put it into a spreadsheet sorted by age.
Yes.
And then that's how they call people.
Is this going to be the last week, or last of 1B, the 65 this week?
No,
They'll have to go again. No, I don't mean they're going to stop. That's the question that people are asking you. When does it stop in there? They'd like to make it longer.
yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of people right now that are still calling in to register, so
Can we ask them, we know you're working, and you know what? I went to get my shot there. It's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And I'm quite sure that you guys went through with them when they set up everything else. What do you guys do in there? Do you take different jobs in there to help them?
yeah. So some of us have worked in their call center, making calls, scheduling the appointments, because, I mean, they're seeing 500 people a day, so they need the extra help. So we worked in the call center and called people to do scheduling. We can't do anything with like registration because I have the laws in that, but we can help direct people and make sure they're going in the right direction, make sure that they get to the nurses on time, and kind of streamline the process, because they do need volunteers that way. But yeah, I call it the Chick-fil-A of COVID clinics.
Moves that quickly, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The only thing is, they don't let you leave with like a box of nuggets when you
Soon enough, soon enough.
That may happen.
But besides that, we got all of the UV lights that I had purchased through that grant we received through the state. All of those are installed in all of the rooms and working. So they're cleaning the air as the people are in there. So that's good. We also are working with the county to get our hookup for an emergency generator so that we can actually be a full-on disaster site if something happens. So we've got the electrician coming out to do that here in a couple of weeks. So they'll be able to bring us a generator if they need our site as a disaster site, which I know is something we've been working for a while. So we're excited about that. And I'm still working on getting our national accreditation with the National Institute of Senior Centers. We're getting close there. I mean, the binder is like this big of papers that I have to fill out. So I think we're over halfway there. There's a lot of paperwork, a lot of contracts, and a lot of things to set up for that. But we've been working on that, and it's getting closer.
Who's cleaning the senior center after, I guess it's done for the day?
I mean, we do some of the regular cleaning just to straighten things up, and then Linda comes in and cleans in the evenings.
Sprays.
And then through the ozone and all of that, ozone generators and fogging and all that, it cleans pretty much everything else that we miss.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
You still lost a minute and a half, but later.
Laura?
I don't have anything to add. I just have the reports to submit, or actually that were submitted, and just still working on closing out the year.
Motion to accept January report submitted to the board to review for fund status, revenue status, and appropriation status.
So moved.
And seconded?
Mr. Crano?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes. All right. Moving on to new business. Motion to approve advances from the general fund 1,000 to 15,000 to zoning 2181, 100,000 to the road department, and 150,000 to the police department.
So moved?
Second?
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Crano?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Motion to increase temporary appropriations to the Westchester Fund by $42,000 for the total of $92,000.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Carino?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Motion to approve the updated resolution pursuant to the IRC Section 414H2 concerning the township pickup of the sanitary requirements contribution to the Ohio Public Employee Retirement System.
So moved.
Seconded?
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Carino?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
All right, now we come to the public response. We only have one out there. Nothing to say today, Eric. All right.
Kathy said I went to the senior center, I got my shot, and she's right. I was there a total of 20 minutes, that's back to my car.
Awesome.
It was well organized.
Very good. All right. Remarks from the board? Mr. Carano?
It's my pleasure. Since we started with the idea of the vaccine, the information, understand something, all of you out there. You're going to get it, and we all want it. The first thing everybody has to understand, though, is I got my shot. I'm getting ready to get my second one. Now, that means that I'm being protected against the virus, but that doesn't stop me from wearing a mask. Because even though I would have my vaccination, I can carry the virus. Just like little kids can carry a virus, everybody can carry a virus. So the masks, for all intents and purposes, are going to be something that we're going to have to become very aware that we're going to need them probably until, November or somewhere around that way. Jessica gave us a good insight. The senior center does a great job. They get about 500 people. They have enough vaccine and the vaccine itself to be able to go and do the 500 people. Some of the other places like Giant Eagle, you have to, if you work with Giant Eagle, go to their pharmacy and try to sign up with them. Mercy Health, especially if you are in Mercy Health, if you have a doctor that's in Mercy Health, there's a thing called My Chart. If you have that, you could register yourself very easily with Mercy Health and out of 3 different places to be able to do it. Now they're starting, after they're through giving the shots to all the senior citizens in nursing homes and in other homes for the adult, older people, those people are going to start having them too. But the one thing that you have to remember is we're using everything that's being sent to us, and hopefully we're going to get it. But she made this strong movement. That telephone number, if you don't have it, call us here at the Township Hall. It's 270-2855, and you ask for number 9. But most importantly, go on the computer, have somebody if you can. And if you can't do it, you can call us. I can do it for you. These guys work there today. I'm a retired person, although, we can do it for you. But all it is to fill in about 10 questions, and most of them are simply your name, your age, your birth date, and so on, and how they can get in touch with you. And what they'll do is they will call you. Usually they'll give you an appointment that's roughly a week away, and you can do that. And the older you are, the more you should be calling in the sooner you can, or get someone to call in for you. I have to really thank the people of Austintown. We have a lot of facilities here. We use the facilities, and the people here know how to use it. The problems that we have at times is people come into our place and don't follow our rules. But we know how to tell them how they should follow the rules. But it's been a wild year, but maybe somewhere along the line, towards the end of it, we'll be able to go out and enjoy ourselves. Thank you.
Trustee Davis?
I don't have a whole lot, just other than I do want to touch a little bit on what Darren was talking about earlier with the Wedgewood lanes. So recently, this has become quite the topic of social media and people discussing the condition of the lanes. For, as you heard Darren say, for about 2 years now, about over a year and a half, Austintown Township has been burdened with the fact of maintaining that property. I will tell you that it's very disheartening to see something so iconic to our community in such disrepair. Everybody has a story of Wedgewood Lanes. I have my own stories of Wedgewood Lanes and going there. But the problem we're having now is, and what Darren kind of gave you a little background into, and what I would like to follow up with is, a lot of people anticipate that, or they see things happening such as the facade falling or the grass getting high. Austintown Township, we do not own that building. And just because somebody walks away from the building, there's still an owner ultimately of that. There's the mortgage holder, who is the bank. By law, we're required to follow certain guidelines before we can go there and do work. Or before we go there and cut the grass. So unfortunately, we have to wait for the grass to get to a certain height, or certain things, when you see the roof with the shingles falling, those are cosmetic issues. Now, when the facade fell off, and that was brought to the attention of our zoning office, that was pursued. And we were able to go out there in an emergency situation, because had that fallen on somebody or there was a gas meter there, that could potentially cause a huge issue. So we were able to kind of work through that red tape and get that done a little quicker. However, once again, we have to follow the Ohio Revised Code. The reason we do that is because we are expending your township dollars to go out there to cut the grass or to do this work. In order for us to recoup that money, we have to be able to show that we've done our due diligence, we've given that property owner the opportunity to rectify the situation, and then when they do not rectify the situation and we have declared it as a board of nuisance, our workers can then go out and do the work and have that nuisance abated. And because we have followed the proper chain of command and that proper paper trail, that then is taken from our zoning office to our administrator, and Mike Dockery sends it to down to Mahoney County Courthouse, where the property's taxes are assessed at the auditor's office. That's how we're able to recoup our money. Only because we do things properly are we able to do that. So we're just asking for everybody's patience. Understand that we totally understand and are compassionate to the fact that you do not want to look at that junk and debris or the grass that's 4 feet high. We totally understand it. Unfortunately, though, we got to do things the proper way. One of the things I discussed with the media earlier today even about that is there are not many plazas that you can go to and that you can say, man, every building is occupied. The Wedgewood Plaza, if you go there, every single building is occupied. Whether it's the gym that's there, the supermarket that's there, I believe there's still an insurance agency over there, a nail salon, Pizza Hut, a bakery. I mean, the whole plaza's filled. You do not see that anywhere, folks. So, to myself and this board, it's disturbing for that building to be in its condition, because they're doing a good job of filling that plaza, and we want to keep it that way. So please understand, we're working on it, we're going to continue to work on it, and hopefully when it's all said and done, the owner, I believe, has walked away from the property, and it looks like the bank is going to have to do something with it at this point, and we'll just keep our best foot forward and pushing them along to either hopefully raise the building and tear it down, and maybe they could add on to the plaza there and fill up some more space over there, or maybe we can find a good tenant to come in and build something. That's all I got.
Okay, I got pretty short today too. Just want to welcome Big Shot Bob's Wings on Raccoon. And they're excellent, I'll tell you that. I had them twice last week. They have a million flavors, and I don't know how I'm gonna get through all of them, actually, but they're actually great wings. And Austintown Nutrition came in, they're right next to Domino's there on Onion Avenue. Want to congratulate Devin Sherwood. He was selected to the Elite 11, which is a quarterback showing. You see it on ESPN and everything like that of these big quarterbacks coming out of high school, going into college. To me, it's amazing that we actually have a quarterback that can stand out there and be amazing. What Devin's done in the last couple of years of breaking records at Fitch. Congratulations to our wrestling team. Again, over the weekend, our bowling team's doing great, and that's all I have for myself. Like a motion to recess to executive sessions for the following to consider appointment, employment, discipline, or comprehensive to public employees, B, to prepare for conducting and reviewing negotiations for bargaining sessions and public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment.
So moved.
Seconded?
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Fredo?
Yes.
In association with Austintown Local Schools and Austintown Township.